All right, guys, check this out. Welcome to the martial arts of selling. I hope everyone's having a great week. What I'm going to talk about today is I'm actually going to expand on the video that I posted earlier that I did yesterday called How to Build an Effective Sales Team. After reviewing it, thinking about it, and looking at it more deeply, there's a lot more to it than what I said yesterday. So I want to expand on it. It may go 2 or 3 parts. I haven't decided yet, but I think I need to expand on it today. So it's a very exciting topic, and the reason why I'm doing this particular topic is after speaking with many small business owners, entrepreneurs, I realize that they don't even consider or think about having and building a sales team. So my job is to show why you need to build an effective sales team and how having a successful, effective sales team is going to be huge benefits or bring huge benefits to your organization, to your business. So it's very exciting. Buckle up, guys. Tighten up because you're in for a ride. What I recommend you do is watch the previous one that I posted earlier today so that this one makes a little more sense. But it's exciting. If you like this video and you're watching it on YouTube, smash the like button. If you want to follow me on my channel, simply hit the subscription button below. And after watching the video, if you like the video, do me a favor. Share your comments, share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. And I will make whatever changes I need to make that's going to help you grow your business. Now, follow me for part 2 of how to build an effective sales team. All right, guys, are you ready for part 2? Are you ready to buckle up, get excited, and looking forward to building your effective sales team? Now, this is going to be absolutely beneficial if you apply it. If you don't, then you don't get the benefits. I mean, it's that cut and dry, okay? Now, part 2. I'm going to recap a little bit about part 1 so that part 2 makes a lot more sense to you. So what I did yesterday in the other video in part 1 is I talked about the TO calls, okay? Now, the TO is basically a turnover call. And what I recommend to my clients, and I'm building for myself, is I usually get about 3 what I call cold callers or openers, okay? And their specific job is to do the cold call, get it from a certain point that they qualify the prospect and then turn it over to the closer. Okay? That's what they're supposed to do. Because without that, which I call the grind, the sales don't happen. So you have to understand how valuable, how important cold calling really is if you really apply and understand what it means in the big picture. Okay? So what the bottom line is this, is to build an effective team. I always recommend that you have 3 turnovers or 3 openers or 3 cold callers for every 1 closer. Okay? And there's a 60 to 90 day learning period, which I call boot camp, that I train my people to be effective in becoming a good, if not a great cold caller. That's very vital because when I take calls, I want to make sure that I get into the meat and potatoes, the numbers, with the prospect to turn them and convert them into a customer or a sale. Does that make sense? So it's very important. So now let's go from the beginning. Okay, how to build an effective sales team. Now we're going to talk about the leads. What I usually do to train my guys and what I recommend to you entrepreneurs and small business owners to get them into rhythm and tempo, to really teach them to be strong and solid and consistent. I will always use the leads source, the Better Business Bureau, Google, Yelp, and some other ones in that format. Before I have them call the actual social media, like my Facebook pages, my Instagram, my LinkedIn, my Alignable. To me, that's a bonus that I offer my salespeople because those are people that know me, are following me, are liking my content, so they have a higher chance of selling them than I have someone that is just cold. Does that make sense? So you want to train them the right way, and it's important that you keep them motivated, okay? Now, how do you do that? the first thing you want to do is, I call it the boot camp. Okay? The boot camp is like being in the military. You know, you go into training for 6 weeks, and then you go overseas, or you're actually in war. That's when the game is really on, right? Not that you want to go to war and kill anybody. I know I don't. But you want to be prepared that if you are in that profession, or you're in the military, that you get trained properly, so when it's time to perform, you're already trained to perform. Does that make sense? So now, what the boot camp does, it builds a strong sales foundation. I know a lot of salespeople that could talk, but their foundation is so weak, they have no direction to go. They always struggle. And in order for them to generate sales, unfortunately, they have to lie about things to make a sale. That's the reality of it. Now, also, you have to give them motivation, because cold calling is a hard thing to do. No one likes rejection. No one likes to be hung up on. So it's very difficult. And you got to keep your cold callers or your openers motivated. And then within the 60 to 90 days, they should be trained well enough to generate between 1 to 5 qualified turnovers per day, per person. Okay? Per day. Now, how do you get these cold callers to want to work for you? How do you recruit them? For me personally, as I said in my first video, I typically do not hire experienced salespeople. And some of the reasons is because, one, most of them have bad habits. Number two, they have an ego where they're not willing to learn and grow and get better and take criticism. So I typically, when it comes to cold callers or openers, I like to bring someone in that's fresh, that never did it, that are open-minded, that want to learn, that want to take whatever I tell them with like a sponge. And those usually turn out to be better salespeople than those that have experience, because they're easier to teach. Now, I may hire an experienced salesperson if I need another closer, because I may have too many openers that for myself to handle, then I may do that. However, I even like to train my own closers. Okay? Now, so what you want to do, and what I recommend, and what I do, and what I'm doing right now, building my team in El Paso, is to motivate people to want to be openers or cold callers, is you want to offer a base salary. You can offer a base, you can offer a base versus commission, or you can offer a straight out commission. Typically, what I do is I like to offer base so that they're willing to learn. It's a financial risk on your part, but if you're the one training them properly, you're going to get a good return on your capital. Okay? Then what you want to do is you want to offer them daily spiffs. Man, you got to get them motivated. You got to get them incentives to want to take a punch. Now, the other thing you have to do is you have to let them know that you got their back, that you're there for them, that you're going to help them. You're not just going to put them on the phone, let them sink or swim. You're going to let them not be afraid to do it, and let them be okay of getting hit, knowing that they're going to learn to hit back. Does that make sense? So you want to offer spiff. If you don't know what a spiff is a daily cash where, let's say they generate 5 qualified leads or 3 qualified leads in a day. You may give them a certain amount of dollars, maybe $20 or $30, whatever the case may be, whatever your budget can afford. Okay? Then what I would do is, if they become consistent in generating a certain amount of qualified leads per day, I would offer, a percent on the sale. Either a percent on the sale, or maybe a dollar amount on the sale in addition to the spiff. Because remember this, they're doing the grunt work. They're doing the grind work for the closer. The closer is just finishing the deal. Does that make sense? So you want to reward them. You want to incentivize them. Now, you don't want to just give away the money. You want to incentivize them to become really good at TO calls, opening or cold calling. Okay? Now, number 4 is performance. How they perform. Are they making the necessary call? Are they getting a lot of contacts? Are they doing a lot of presentations? Are they learning and using the techniques and the strategies that you are teaching them? So you want to reward performance. You want to incentivize these people because they are doing the grunt work. That's why a lot of salespeople don't like to cold call because they know how difficult it is. And their egos won't let them because they think because they're salespeople, they should not be hung up on or they should not be told this objection or things like that. That's a mistake. Because for me, yesterday, I got on a call, I got hung up on twice, back to back. Doesn't happen often, but it does. So what? But out of 12 contacts, I got 7 leads. The point is that you have to be consistent. You have to train your openers consistent and you have to motivate them. You have to inspire them. You have to encourage them. You have to let them know, hey, listen, it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to get rejected. But it's your job as the entrepreneur and business owner to really train them. How to throw a left punch, how to throw a right punch, how to throw a front kick. That's what the martial art of selling is all about. It's about building a strong sales foundation, and it all starts with cold calling. Whether it's on social media or not, cold calling is a powerful tool. When you embrace it and you learn it and your people start to become successful at cold calling, you have a gold mine. Now, let's talk about the closer. The way it works is with my program, the martial art of selling, through the social media conversion strategy, I have what they call a straight line method. When you use my straight line method, your salespeople are going to be consistent. They're going to be closing consistently. So within the 90-day period, with the closer, with the 3 openers or cold callers, within that 90-day period, they should be generating between 3 and 15 leads or qualified turnovers per day. They should be doing that if they're trained properly. So I want you to think about, we're going to run some numbers right now so that you understand the power of building an effective sales team by building a strong sales foundation and mastering the art of cold calling. Okay, now, typically, through my training program, and they become a white belt, is your closer should be closing at least 30% of the turnover calls. At least 30%. So let's run some numbers at 30%. If you're getting 1 to 4.5, if you're getting 3 to 15 turnovers per day, right? Think about it. And you're converting 30%. That's about 1 to 4.5 sales per day. Or in other terms, turning a prospect into a customer and turning a lead into a sale. Me personally, I like using prospect because that's what business owners like to hear. Prospect, customers. The leads into sale. Does that make sense? Okay, so what happens is if you're converting 30% per day, 1 to 4.5 deals per day or sales per day, let's say your average product price is $1,000. So we're going to keep it simple. Me personally, my product goes from $2,500 to $25,000. So let's just use a round number for simplicity purposes. Let's say your product and services is $1,000. So if you're closing 30%, or your closer's closing 30%, or converting 30% of the TOs, this is on the initial call, you're looking at $1,000 to $4,500 in new sales per day. I want you to think about that for you small business owner and entrepreneur. This is one of the most valuable investments you can make. It may take a little time, it may be a little organic, but that's where you build longevity. That's where you build consistency. That's where you can dictate your return on investment. That's when you can dictate how many leads you get per day, how many sales you can really magnify it. You can really dictate that. because you are 100% in control. Okay. Now, so if you think about it, if you're generating $1,000 to $4,500 per day, you're looking anywhere between $5,000 to $22,500 in new sales every single week. Think about that. So if you're generating, let's say the minimum of $5,000 per week times 4 weeks, that's $20,000 a month, right? Take $20,000 a month minimum times 12 months in a year, you're looking at $240,000 in new business. Let's say your annual revenue is $1 million and you increase it to $240,000, you increase your business by 24%. Minimum. It's actually 124%. Because you're generating an extra $1 million plus the $240,000, but for simplicity purposes, you're increasing your annual revenue by $24,000. If you know you can do that, and you know the leads are cheap and free on the Better Business Bureau, Google, Yelp, and others, how much would you be willing to invest in your business to build an effective sales team to generate an additional $240,000? Would you invest $50,000, $20,000, $100,000? That's up to you. You have to think about that. I'm sure you're investing a lot of money right now in advertising, different types of ads, different types of funnels and things like that. And you may not have the success that you would like to see. Well, why don't you try building an effective sales team in-house that you control? Just think about that. So, when you're looking at $5,000 to $22,500 per week, that's what could happen to you, you small business owners, you entrepreneur, if you decide you want to build an effective sales team. That's what I've done in the past when I was in Las Vegas for 16 years, building call centers, building sales team. I use this strategy right here, and I'll never change it. And the more social media is out there, the easier this is for me. Because cold calling never goes dead. Cold calling never gets old. Technology always changes. And when it does change, it may not apply to you anymore. It may be too advanced, right? So just think about that. Building an effective sales team can produce anywhere between $5,000 to $22,500 per week at $1,000 minimum sale. Again, every person's product and services may be lower, may be higher, but the principle, the process, and the strategy is the same. My question to you is, are you willing to make that decision? Are you willing to make that change? Are you willing to invest in your business to generate more sales? That's something for you to answer. Now, if you like this video and it was helpful to you, smash the like button. Do me a favor, share your comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Also, if you want to follow me on this channel, just hit the subscription button below. And if you want a one-on-one, you want me to train you and teach you how to build a team, all you have to do is direct message me and I'll get back with you in 24 hours to set up a one-on-one, and let's see what I can do for you. Now, till we speak again, I want to thank you all for being part of the martial art of selling. And remember this, always build an effective sales team and watch your sales grow. Have a great day. Bye.